Mr. Conroy, you are the CEO at Rules Rivertown, right?
Yes, I am.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, Rules Rivertown.
That's an amusement park based in Midlands, correct?
Yes, it is.
You mentioned on direct examination one of your primary competitors is Rock the World, correct?
Yes, we have a few competitors throughout Midlands, but yes, my primary competitor is Rockwood.
You interact with your employees frequently, correct?
My employees?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You know who Cameron Poole is.
Yes, well, he used to work for me.
You know who Whit Bowman is.
She also used to work for me, yes.
Both of those individuals used to work for you at the same time.
Yes, that is true.
In fact, they started work for your company on the same day.
Yes.
Now, let's focus a little bit on their time at your facilities.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned Whit Bowman was the best employee you've ever seen, besides yourself.
Absolutely. Phenomenal. Yes.
Now, Cameron Poole was assigned a ring toss attraction, correct?
Yes, when he first arrived, we put him on a ring toss game.
And he was working that for the entire duration of his time at Rules Rivertown.
Not his entire duration.
Because you took him off, right?
That I did.
And that was after you looked into the financials revolving around the ring toss attraction.
Yes, and there seemed to be minor problems arising.
Well, in fact, you saw that profits were decreasing at an alarming rate.
Yes, sir.
Objection, Your Honor. Improper character evidence.
Pursuant to Rule 404B, prior wrongs, acts, or other crimes, permitted uses under Clause 2 includes those to show intent, motive operation, as well as knowledge. This is going to show that the defendant and the co-conspirator have the knowledge in order to skip money off an amusement park.
May I respond on those grounds, Your Honor?
You may.
In order for opposing counsel to use this as knowledge, he has to verify the exact same method that Rules Rivertown have the exact same admission pass into the same company. And if I might proffer, that's not true. They need the exact same layout in the company that this company, Rules Rivertown, had a wristband system. That this wristband system was the same operation of Rules Rivertown, because that knowledge, he's using that knowledge to prove that. And without that kind of knowledge, and without that similar circumstance, it's not relevant, and it is improper character evidence.
May I respond? Pursuant to Rule 404A, that's character evidence. 404B is prior wrongs, acts, or other crimes. We're not using this to show action conformity therewith by any means. Furthermore, there's no case law that makes the interpretation that it has to be indistinguishable from the two events.
The objection's overruled.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Conroy,
Yes.
Cameron Poole was assigned the ring toss attraction.
Yes, at first he was assigned the ring toss attraction.
And while he was working the ring toss, you saw that profits originating from the ring toss attraction were decreasing at an alarming rate.
Yes.
And that is why you took him off.
Yes, it is.
You assigned the defendant the ring toss attraction.
Yes.
Then the profits started going back up to the normal range.
Yes. When Whit Bowman was on the ring toss attraction, all of our profits were in check.
That didn't last for long, did it?
Unfortunately, no.
While the defendant was still working the ring toss attraction, those profits went down to that alarming rate once again.
Objection, Your Honor. Improper character evidence. May I be heard? Opposing counsel is using this as a reference that Ms. Bowman, she was stealing in the past. Shows it's more likely that she would steal in the future. And that is the definition of improper character evidence.
May I respond? First of all, for 404A, for something to meet this, it has to be a pertinent character trait. Stealing is not a pertinent character trait of anyone. Furthermore, 404B, pursuant to Your Honor's prior ruling, this is a prior wrong, act, or other crime which can be shown for any witness, including the defendant, on trial in criminal cases.
Objection's overruled.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the defendant was working the ring toss attraction as well, correct?
That is true.
And those profits started decreasing at an alarming rate as well, even with her in control.
Which we seemed to notice when she was gone, those things were happening, yes.
While she was in control of the ring toss attraction, just to make sure, those profits were decreasing as well, just like you had seen with Cameron Poole.
Yes, when it was in her name, technically, yes.
You saw the defendant and Cameron Poole interacting often, right?
I would say so.
This is while they were working at your Rules Rivertown.
Yes.
They would interact on breaks.
Yes.
In fact, it's your opinion that the two were inseparable.
About as inseparable as two employees could get, I guess.
Cameron Poole gave you plenty of reasons to be fired, right?
Yeah, he was by no means the employee of the month.
Well, and you fired him.
That I did.
The day you fired Cameron Poole, the defendant was scheduled to work.
Yes.
She didn't come in for work that day, did she?
Well, you see, when I fired,
Mr. Conroy, directing you back to my question, the defendant did not come in for work the day you fired Cameron Poole, yes or no?
you see, when I fired Mr. Poole,
Objection, non-response.
I would object to opposing counsel. My witness was simply trying to answer his question to the best of his ability, and he didn't even give my witness a chance to answer.
Maybe her.
I'm going to overrule your objection and sustain your objection and direct the witness to answer yes or no.
Mr. Conroy, I'll restate the question. The defendant did not show up for work the day you fired Cameron Poole.
that is correct, but she was standing next to Mr. Poole when I did fire
Thank
him,
you
so
for
it
that
could have
answer,
been a
Mr.
misunderstanding.
Thank you for that answer, Mr. Conroy. She didn't call you in to inform you that she was sick.
No,
She didn't call in to inform you that she was quitting.
no,
She never called in to Rules Rivertown to let you know that she wouldn't even be showing up for any reason.
no, I did not hear from her.
To the best of your knowledge, there wasn't any emergency situation.
No,
She never informed you of any reason.
no,
And you never saw her again until you saw her working at Rockter World Amusement Park.
that is correct.
Same thing with Cameron Poole. He never showed up again either.
Well, he got fired. He shouldn't have ever showed up.
So the two stopped working the same day.
I ultimately, yes.
Let's fast forward to their time when you saw them at Rockter World. Now,
All
I
right.
mentioned on direct examination you were in some sort of disguise.
Yes, with my hair pulled up, I look like a completely different person.
No one in that park recognized you, to the best of your belief.
From what I saw, no. No one seemed to know it was me.
Specifically, you wanted to go and see how the Tunnel of Love was converted into the Tunnel of Terror.
Yes, sir. This reminded me of my first marriage.
And you sold that ride to the CEO, Longstreet, right?
That I did about 2008.
You have quite a relationship with Mr. Longstreet, right?
Well, relationship, not so much. We're competitors, so I know him through business. Yes.
They're one of your greatest rivals.
Yes, like I said earlier, we have a lot of competition in Midlands, and they're probably one of the top.
Now, you were the original purchaser of the Tunnel of Terror,
It was the Tunnel of Love when I bought it.
and as you mentioned, there were only two aesthetic differences, right?
Yes, sir, the Broken Heart and the Ghost Swamp.
Mechanically, everything worked the same.
Yes, even the control panel looked the exact same.
You bought the Tunnel of Love yourself.
Yes, sir.
You thought it was fun for your park.
Well, it was until I realized how little it fit with our theme.
Well, people were riding it, right?
On occasion, you know, the people who would wander in not realizing we were a water park.
But then you sold it.
Yes, sir, because I was tired of watching employees make mistakes.
In fact, you saw your employees initiate what's known as maintenance mode.
Yes, sir, one after another.
Mr. Conroy, you have no idea whether or not your employees were initiating maintenance mode on accident or intentional, do you?
I can't say, no.
You couldn't tell us that they bumped the lever, right? If they
no.
bumped the lever. You couldn't tell us if they did it on purpose.
No, I could not. But
All you saw were the lights in the ride going off,
yes, sir, over and over.
and the train in the ride would keep going.
Yes.
And that's why you sold it.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I sold it.
Thank you. I have no further questions.